Dr. Mohan Rao sir and our director sir. Uh, yes, audible? Is it audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, it's audible, doctor.
Is it audible?
Yes, doctor,
Yes.
it's audible.
Yes. Living in this modern world has its own set of challenges. We all experience some kind of psychological or physical health issue that, if left unattended, becomes a chronic problem later. The most alarming scenario today is the increasing number of people struggling with psychosomatic disorder. Pardon? Audible, na?
Please keep
Okay.
yourself muted.
Audible, na?
Yeah, it's audible, doctor. Carry on.
Yes, yes. The most alarming scenario today is the increasing number of people struggling with psychosomatic disorder. This is due to our continued unhealthy lifestyle, environmental degradation, lack of awareness regarding health and fitness. We just keep swallowing pills to suppress the problem rather than uprooting it. This in turn triggers other health issues, and this vicious cycle keeps moving. Psychosomatic approach. Sharir Indriye Sattva Atma Samyohidari Jeevitam Iti Ayu. Life is the conjunction of the soul, mind, senses, and body. So, psychosomatic disorder, also called psychophysiologic disorder, the condition in which psychological stresses adversely affects physiological somatic functioning to the point of distress. It is a condition of dysfunction or structural damage in bodily organs through inappropriate activation of the involuntary nervous system and glands of internal secretion. Thus, the psychosomatic symptoms emerges as a physiological concomitant of an emotional state. So it's nothing but it is a state of rage. For example, when the angry person's blood pressure is likely to be elevated and his pulse and respiratory rate to be increased. When the anger passes, the heightened physiologic processes usually subside. So if a person has a persistent inhabited aggression, like chronic rage, however, which he is unable to express overtly, so the emotional state remains unstable, though unexpressed in the overt behavior and the physiological dysfunction. Very often, we develop concern over the resulting physical signs and symptoms, but he denies or is unaware of the emotions that have evoked the symptoms. Psychosomatic disorder may affect almost any part of the body, though they are usually, pardon, am I audible or any other thing? Shall I continue?
And
Okay.
all others.
Okay. Very often, he develops concern over the resulting physical signs and symptoms, but he denies or is unaware of the emotions that have evoked the symptoms. Psychosomatic disorder may affect almost any part of the body, though they are usually found in systems not under voluntary control. Research by psychiatrist Alexander and his colleagues at Chicago Institute of Psychoanalysis in 1950s and 1960s suggested that specific personality traits and specific conflicts may create particular psychosomatic illnesses. But it is generally believed that the form of a disorder takes is due to individual vulnerabilities. So, emotional stress is assumed to aggravate existing illnesses. And there is some evidence that it may precipitate illnesses not usually considered to be psychosomatic. Example, cancer, diabetes, etc. in individuals predisposed to them. Psychosomatic disorder psychosomatic disorder resulting from stress may include hypertension, diabetes, respiratory ailments, gastrointestinal disturbances, migraine, tension headache, pelvic pain, impotence, fragility, dermatitis, and ulcer. Most of the public doesn't know what is the cause of these conditions, but medically they have some reasons for these conditions. But the most important thing they have to note is the etiology of the psychosomatic disorder. The exact cause for evolution of psychosomatic disorder is unknown. Studies reveal that the physical disorders associated with mental stress or due to the hyperactivity of nerve impulses sent from the brain to the other parts of the body, which can cause the secretion of adrenaline into the blood, leading to a state of anxiousness. So, which we most of us doesn't note this. In this condition can be triggered by various life factors as follows. First, genetics. A few studies state that a particular genetic aberration in an individual may directly cause this condition, and even irregular biological condition. Alteration in glucose metabolism, amino acid levels in serum, etc., can cause the psychosomatic disorder. My experience previously, before 2 days back, I had a discussion with the PWD officer, the director of PWD. He brought his wife for consultation. After reading the pulse, I came to know that her blood sugar level was very below normal. Usually, uh, even everyone used to have a hypoglycemic state in the fasting, or even some conditions like hypoglycemic state, like a reactive hypoglycemia or postprandial hypoglycemia. For her, after taking food, her blood sugar level drops. So after reading the pulse, I came to know that that is because of psychosomatic condition. So the metabolism, the disturbance in the metabolism, the biological condition is responsible for the hypoglycemic state of her. She undergone all the diagnostic procedures. Even her insulin assay was normal, and even her all the hormone levels are normal. Even though because of this psychological disturbances, her blood sugar level goes no up, goes below normal, and even I have seen the case of less amino acid level in serum because of psychosomatic disorder. The stress influence. The person who experience stressful events like trauma, abuse, frequent illness, fear, depression, anger, guilt, insecurity, and other difficult situations are also susceptible to this disorder. Even I had a case of this stress influence. I used to check the pulse of a patient whenever they comes to consultation. So after reading the pulse, I came to know the child under the age of her age is around 15 to 14 to 15. Recently, her father passed away. She got a severe breathing problem, and she was under Astalin and regular she was under nebulizing. So after reading the pulse, I came to know the depression of her, and I asked her what is the reason behind that. her chest congestion was there, and she was emotionally dumped. So after giving counseling, I came to now know that uh, her father passed away because of COVID. So by knowing the fact, the cause of the stressful events, we are able to uh, deal the situation of the condition, and we are able to treat the patient. So for each and every condition, the mental health has an impact on it. So even the family circumstances, parental absence, the behavior of the parents towards the child. Even I have an example of it. One of the student from Anna Nagar, Chennai, 11th, he was studying 11th, and he had a hallucination of it, hallucination symptoms, and even he is very depressed and mentally he is disturbed. So the patient came with the parents, and they both were crying, and the child was very normal. And the child said, I don't have any issues, but these people are saying I have mental issues. But something I can hear the voice, and the person is calling me from the back. So that only I react. But after talking to the child and after giving the counseling to him, I came to know the parental domination of it, and even the pressure from the school. From the 10th standard, he was under pressure, and he didn't sleep for a month. So the impact of the sleeplessness and the stress makes the child and the family circumstances. So we are facing the problems like psychological issues, and even the tension, headache, migraine, and these conditions are because of this psychosomatic influences. There are four phases: psychic phase, psychoneurotic phase, psychosomatic phase, advanced organic phase. So the modes of psychosomatic disorders, there are three general categories of psychosomatic illnesses. In the first one, your person has a mental and physical illness whose symptoms and management complicate each other. So here, the patient will have both physical and as well as the mental illness. So here we are able to diagnose the condition. It is purely related to the mental issues. The second category involves a person who experiences mental issues due to medical condition and its treatment. So it is purely because of the mental issues. Even I have a patient in this category. The patient came with a bipolar disorder, and it is purely because of his genetic condition. The whole family had have this bipolar condition, and the half of the period he will be excited mood, and half of the period he will be in depressed state. The rest of the time he will be what to say, he doesn't know what to do. That completely he will be gone. He is working in an IT company as an HR. So he will be fully elated state. So the patient, I approached him during the depression state. So if they are in depression for a long period of time, that may be the reason for some of the conditions like diabetes, hypertension, and even they can have cancer also. So the second category involves the people who experience mental issues due to a medical condition. These are the reason they are pushed to have cancer or these medical conditions like hypertension and other NCDs. The third kind of condition is called uh, somatoform disorder. It is a condition in which a person with a mental illness experiences one or more physical symptoms, even if he doesn't have any associated medical condition. So, they are not associated with medical conditions. It is a somatoform illness, and it is furtherly classified as hypochondriasis. In this condition, in which the person believes a minor symptom, physical symptom, to be a grave disease. For example, concluding their temporary flatulence problem into colon cancer. Conversion disorder. Conversion disorder, when a person who doesn't have any medical illness experiences neurological symptoms such as seizures, which affect movement and senses. It is conversion disorder. So even sometimes the person may pretend or they consider themselves as they have an issue. Recently, I had a patient of this conversion disorder. One of the student from engineering college, she's around 21 years, and she used to have the seizure every month, only when she have periods. Okay, during her menstrual cycle, she used to have her seizure. We admitted her in our inpatient department, Government Yoga Naturopathy Medical College and Hospital, and we analyzed her through art therapy. In chromotherapy, we have chromodiagnosis by reading the pulse and knowing the character of the patient through character pulse. And even we used to diagnose them through art diagnosis. So I gave her a paper and some colors of crayons, and I asked her to draw the pictures. So I insisted her to draw one house with water and family and associated with some nature. But what she drew is only the falls from the height and with a few fishes, and she was fishing alone without her family. So with that drawing, I came to the conclusion that our mental health. So after knowing the uh, history from her mother, and I was able to give counseling to that child. So what is the analysis is, um, she she feels that she is apart from her father, and she is craving for her father's love, and she had a quarreling with her sibling, and she doesn't want to hear any advice from her mother. So some family issues are there, and even after the that of fishing alone, I can able to read her mental state of mind. So with that, I am able to give counseling to her and treated her with color therapies and magnetotherapy and some massages, meridian massages. And with that, uh, 3 months ago, she doesn't had an episode of seizure. So it one of our success case of it, and even we recorded the HRV, and her psychological stress level was noted, and it was a very good change in her quality of life also. So coming to the point, somatization disorder. So conversion disorder, somatization disorder. So somatization disorder here, an individual feels frequent headache and has diarrhea, which doesn't relate to a serious medical condition. So we are able to see so many cases related to psychosomatic disorder. So in this somatization disorder, the patient frequently have headache and headache or digestion issues like flatulence or any diarrhea. So they always consider themselves as sick. It's totally because of anxiety disorder, and we are able to give them counseling, yogic counseling, and through yoga nidra, we are able to remove their fear from their subconscious mind. Even I had an experience in COVID. I was one of the COVID warrior, frontline warrior. So during the first wave, I was posted in government general hospital in Chennai. So I used to treat the patient before giving. If I used to treat them after giving advice about the yoga naturopathy, and then only I used to treat them. So during that phase, I was able to see the cases of somatization disorder. So most of them falls under the condition of this. So everyone have mild symptoms and they have fear, and which led them to serious medical condition also. So, and the next thing is body dysformic disorder. So dysmorphic disorder. So body dysmorphic disorder, a person gets stressed about their body's appearance, such as wrinkles and obesity. Here the person gets severely affected by anorexia. And even pain disorder, here a person senses severe pain over any part of the body, which might last for 6 months to 1 year without any physical cause. Example, migraine, tension headache, and even the back pain. Here, one interesting story I have for you. One of the patient came with her daughter. Both came for obesity, and the mother had severe back pain. We treated her for 1 week. Even though the weight reduced to 5 to 6 kgs, her back pain reduced very less. Usually, I used to give herbal packs, chiropractors, osteopathy, and even though her pain was very less only reduced. One day I gave her yoga nidra. So during the yoga nidra, I insisted her, and I gave instruction that just imagine what you want to do, and you are doing imagine in your imaginary way, and you are going to visualize the things what you are suppressed in your subconscious mind. So but after the treatment, she left to the room, and she said, "Okay, I felt relaxed," and she left the treatment section. So the next day, when I went for a rounds, I came to know that she don't have any pain at all. Completely, the pain was gone. I was astonished how till last night she had pain, but morning she said, "I don't have any pain at all." For 3 times I went I climbed the steps for 3 times, 3 floors, even though I don't have any pain at all. And she said that yesterday I had an dream. In the dream, I uh, don't laugh at her, because I laughed in front of her itself. What she said is, in the dream, I had a dream of beating my husband. He was running around the house. I was totally catching him and break his head also. So the dream which she had is in her subconscious mind. So when they have the mental depression or the stress in their mind, the pain persists. It's nothing but the pain disorder. So they have severe back pain or migraine or tension headache or any other pain. If their depression or the thing gets even the imaginary what to say, even the imaginary thing happened also, their pain can be reduced. So what are the risk factors of psychosomatic disorder? Psychological factors can alter your medical condition to a certain extent. For example, diabetes. Type 2 diabetes patients are more susceptible to stress related hypertension. The same stress factors of hypertension exacerbate the diabetic condition. Cancer. Many causative factors are responsible for the development of cancer in people. Studies have suggested that psychological stress can affect your tumor's ability to grow and spread, thereby worsening the state of cancer. Recently, I have treated the case of oral cancer. The patient came with the oral cancer, and totally the tongue has gone. And the wound was spreading towards the lymph nodes, and the open wound was in his neck. He came all around from Andhra Pradesh. We admitted him in our IP department, and we instructed him that we are able to increase only we can support your quality of life, and we are able to reduce your stress level. But the reason and the treatment miracle is within 20 days, the wound which is present near his throat healed faster than before. So, yoga naturopathy has a great effect in treating the patients. By reducing the stress level, we are able to treat these conditions also. Even some medical conditions rises due to mental tension, such as hypertension. Some psychology triggering factors like negative emotional state, frequent adverse stress, and social factors such as economic status and life events have an indirect relation with the level of blood pressure. So, many cases, I can say you the examples of many cases relate to this. So, hypertension, it is one of the emotional state. So, when they have stress, their blood pressure raises because of the cortisol level. And even the heart disease, which is associated with atherosclerosis. Studies have concluded that the development of coronary heart disease is correlated with several risk factors, in which depression, anxiety, and stress are also major causes. Even the respiratory problems, apart from various etiological influences, emotional stress is a major triggering factor associated with bronchial asthma induction, gastrointestinal problems, even the peptic ulcer formation is related to stressful life events of an individual. So, most of these conditions are because of the psychosomatic impact. The symptoms of psychosomatic disorder, it can impact the body in a number of different ways. Some common examples of symptoms and problems that a person might experience that stem from psychological causes, which includes sad, empty mood, anxious, irritability, short tempered, back pain, body aches, fatigue, hair loss, even the suicidal attempt also. Recently in Tamil Nadu, the famous DIG Raj Kumar, he had a severe depression, and suicidal attempt was made, and he finished his life by himself. So most of the conditions are because of psychosomatic conditions: insomnia, hair loss, skin rashes, stomach upset, weight changes. We all know these conditions. The patients will think that these are the conditions which are because of health issues, and they concentrate on the medicines, and they used to treat the conditions symptomatically. But yoga naturopathy, yoga naturopathy is an holistic approach. We treat the patient from the root cause. We treat them as a whole. So it is important to note that this does not mean that these conditions are always caused by psychosomatic illness. They often have medical causes, but we have to treat them both physical as well as mental. Stress induced symptoms. When you are under stress, you may experience physical symptoms. These can include aches, pain, muscle spasm, and headaches, possibly from unconsciously tensing your muscles for extended periods. This is because your body secretes a hormone called cortisol. When you are under stress, see, our body, mind, soul are disturbed because of the stress. So the stress affects us. Can anyone say what is stress? Can anyone explain what is stress? Is it possible to unmute? Okay, let me explain you what is stress. Stress is nothing but reacting to the situation or responding to the stimuli. Let me say you an example. Um, just imagine I am talking in before you, okay? Before you, one of my friend, 20 years of friendship. I missed her a lot and I want to see her. Past 20 years, I didn't see her. She went to abroad after marriage and I miss her a lot. I want to see her. Okay. And she came to surprise me and gave slap on my back. And I can't say she is a friend. Okay. She is one of my classmates, but I feel that I should not see her in my life at all. I should not see her, or I should not uh, contact her. I totally avoid it. Okay. But after 20 years, she is my classmate. She came to surprise me. Okay. She also gave one slap on my back, and with the pain, I'm turning to her side. How was my reaction? Here, I will express only my pain. Here, I express only my what to say, the irritability. So ferociously, I say her, "Why you slapped me? It's paining. How are you when you came? Just I will express only my pain, isn't it?" So stress is nothing but reacting to the situation, responding to the stimuli. So the stress response medically is an HPA axis, hypothalamic pituitary axis. Okay. So here plays the cortisol level. So what is cortisol? Cortisol is a hormone secreted by the adrenal gland. It plays an important part in the body's stress response. When a person is under stress, cortisol helps to prepare the body to deal with the threat. However, too much cortisol is bad for health and can contribute to high blood pressure, impaired cognition, increased inflammation, lower immunity, and other health consequences. In addition to being the stress hormone, cortisol affects wide range of other body functions. This affects your blood pressure, heart rate, digestion, glucose level. This is why too much of hormone, particularly over a long period of time, can lead to problems such as stomach problems, thyroid problems, slow wound healing, hypoglycemia, and decreased bone density. So, here comes the mechanism of psychosomatic disorder. So, how the stress responses us. So, psychoneuroimmunology, it is nothing but the immune interaction, um, the communication between the mind and the body is carried out by peptides called neurotransmitters. Three neurotransmitters, norepinephrine, serotonin, and dopamine, are essential for neurocommunication. Hypothalamus. So, sorry, hypothalamus. It's a key structure of nervous system, which control affects strongly our emotional as well as the cognitive states, which is surrounded by interconnected with the limbic system. So the limbic system, it is connected, which is adjuvant to our cerebral cortex, and the brain becomes sensitive to these stressors and is more vigilant to the incoming stimuli. So our stress level, when it is, when our entire body is now alert, okay, when our entire body is alert to these stress, the reaction to these stressors are stored in the memory as stressors are activated or reactivated. Okay, so the hippocampus, the stores memories that are associated with trauma and stress. When a stressful thought reoccurs, the sympathetic nervous system secretes the noradrenaline. These neurotransmitters strengthens the stressful memory and activates our stress response. So, in essence, each time there is a stressor similar to the previously stored one, the subsequent stressors reinforces the traumatic result from the first stressor. So the mind and body are able to communicate with each other by the interaction of the three systems. There are two physiological pathways, sympathetic adrenal medullary pathway uh, that activates the autonomic nervous system, whereby the neurotransmitters and neuropeptides communicates directly with the immune cells. The neurotransmitters attached to immune cells affect their ability to multiply or kill invaders. So here comes the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis. So that signals the endocrine glands to release the hormones, and it directly affect our immune system. They can increase or decrease the cellular processes. It is important to point out that the cancer cells synthesize hormones identical to the endocrine glands. But in an excessive and uncontrollable amount, the neurotransmitters, neuropeptides, and the hormones have been shown to have certain effects on immunity. Okay, so certain hormones such as cortisol, epinephrine are released in higher amounts when an individual is under great stress. Okay, so these hormones are known to depress the T cells activity and thus depress one's immune system. So mind can be referred to both a healer and the slayer, because when one thinks, believes, or feels can have definite effect on one's health. This can result in either positive or negative outcome. In 2002, Plitter, one of his study, he mentioned that in his research paper, stated that the negative feelings such as fear, depression, anxiety have significant effect on brain and can produce powerful changes in the body's chemistry. So the stress can be positive, acting as a catalyst for producing helpful changes. However, the stress is negative when there is a disproportion between when an individual wants or feels capable of doing and constraints of the environment. So this plays an excessive amount of pressure and demand on the individual. So here comes the yoga and naturopathy role on psychosomatic disorder. See, yoga and naturopathy is an holistic approach. We educate the people and we educate them for their responsibility of their own health. It has shown its efficacy in elevating and preventing the various lifestyle disorders. Okay, so we treat them as a whole. When we give hydrotherapy And in our yoga and naturopathy hospital, government yoga and naturopathy medical college and hospital in Chennai, as an inpatient ward, we prescribe them only the raw diet. So diet plays major role because fasting and diet therapy, it works on the gut bacteria. Hydrotherapy, mud therapy, and massage, helio, chromo, and yoga therapy, etc. The study is shown that the integrated yoga and naturopathy intervention, like these therapies, leads to homeostasis of HPA axis. It's nothing but the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis, which produce favorable changes in gene expression and reduce the oxidative stress and inflammation, which positively balances the neuroendocrine pathway and elevation in brain derived neurotrophic factor levels and improving gut microbial symbiosis and regulation of immune system, improves insulin sensitivity and improves adaptive responses, and importantly regulation of circadian rhythm. It is very important. Maintaining the circadian rhythm is very important. In Chennai nowadays, they are most of the youngsters are not following this. Even in the midnight, they are having biryani. At 2 o'clock, they are able to get midnight biryani, and the gut bacteria are getting damaged, and they are under stress, and the lifestyle diseases they are facing, like diabetes, hypertension, obesity, cancer, and many things. See, yoga and naturopathy provide deep relaxation to the internal body system, which is essential to regain normal functioning of the system. Yoga and naturopathy also strengthens the mind determination to adhere to healthy lifestyle. So these are the few papers where the yoga naturopathy intervention role on yoga. So they have uh, uh, they have quoted that in that abstract, they are able to elevate the NCDs at the primary care level. And in Tamil Nadu, more than 250 centers in government institutions, and they are treating the patients with yoga and naturopathy, and they are able to give the results with the yoga and naturopathy interventions. Okay. And one of the paper in acupuncture of psychosomatic origin, in this paper, they have treated the psychosomatic disorder, and they have taken the neuroimaging techniques and network therapies, and they have given some specific points with the stimulations, and they came to know that the acupuncture can reduce the psychosomatic conditions, and they are able to increase the quality of life of the patients. Okay. And a conclusion, through yoga and naturopathy, we are able to treat the patient, and we are able to control the non-communicable diseases, which is considered as the lifestyle disorders, and we are able to treat the psychosomatic disorders easily by treating as a whole. These are the four tonics we are giving to them through yoga and naturopathy. It's nothing but dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphin. So through the therapies like heliotherapy, massage therapy, acupuncture, acupressure, hydrotherapy, chromotherapy. So these therapies gives them and have the impact on these chemicals to give them well balanced diet. So our aim of management is um, good lifestyle, want to promote their good lifestyle, which improves their physical as well as the mental health of the patient. So, treating the patient holistically is very important, and teaching them the way of life in a natural way. And these are the doses helps them to keep them fit. Okay. Uh, thank you one and all for the excellent opportunity. And thank you for patiently watching my speech. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Deepa. Anyone has any question for Dr. Deepa's session? It's very interactive, informative session was there, backed up with research studies, the role of yoga and naturopathy in mental stress and psychosomatic disorders. So, any questions?
Yeah, here I am Mrityunjay. I have a question, sir.
Yes, sir. Please.
Yes.
Madam, I am a 49-year-old teacher. I teach German at Hyderabad.
Okay, sir.
I'm on antidepressant tablets since 5 years. I'm diabetic and
Okay.
I'm having hypertension.
Okay,
Can you
sir.
please suggest a good center in Hyderabad?
So we have a government institution, Gandhi Nature Cure Hospital in Hyderabad. There are so many senior most doctors available there, and excellently they are rendering their service in the institution, and you can approach them. And even in Chennai, Government Yoga and Naturopathy Medical College and Hospital, we have inpatient department where we are rendering the service with free of cost and with the natural diet, and we are treating them. There are so many patients are there, and we are reversing the diabetes within 20 days.
Oh,
And they
great.
are leading their life, drug-free life they are leading. So even the depression can be reduced gradually, and we are able to assure you for the quality of life.
Thank you, madam. One more small request. I'm a regular follower of your YouTube videos. I would like
Oh,
to, if it's possible, we would like to have your things in English, madam, so that we'll be very much, we will be getting benefited from that.
Sure,
If
sir. Sure,
possible,
sir.
madam, please.
Sure, sir. In my next videos, let me try it in English also, sir. Thank you so much for
Thanks a
your
lot, madam.
valuable suggestion. Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Uh,
Any other doubts?
any other questions? Now allow me to invite our Assistant Director, Dr. Mohan Rao, to talk to you. So over to Dr. Mohan Rao, sir. Your voice is not audible, sir.
ये प्रोग्राम कंप्लीट हो गया क्या?
Yes, sir.
ये कंक्लूडिंग सेशन है क्या?
Yes, sir. Dr. Vaidipa has concluded her session, and now we are requesting to few words from your side to conclude the session. Before concluding the session, sir.
I thank everybody. एक सेकंड.
Hello.
बोल रहा हूँ. I thank all participants and Dr. Deepa for extending her all cooperation and spared the time and given the valuable message and lecture to the yoga and naturopathy community. And also I request her to give more and more lectures in coming days for updating and disseminating the knowledge of yoga naturopathy for various health disorders. Thank you so much to all the participants and Dr. Deepa and my staff.
Now I would like to invite Dr. Anburani with a vote of thanks.
Good afternoon to everyone. Respected Director Sir and Assistant Director Sir, our guests and all participants. I feel immense pleasure to take the opportunity to propose vote of thanks. First of all, my heartfelt thanks to our Director Sir for encouraging and to conduct the webinar. Thank you, sir. And our sincere thanks to Assistant Director Dr. A. Mohan Rao sir for support and guidance. Thank you, Mohan Rao sir. We are extremely thankful to Dr. Y. Deepa, HOD of Manipulative Therapy, Government College of Yoga and Naturopathy in Chennai, for sharing the wonderful and knowledge informative lecture on psychosomatic disorders through yoga and naturopathy. And I would like to thank to Dr. Subhash for the welcome address, and I thanks and appreciate to all our participants for joining and made a successful event today. And I thank to Vikas for technical support for helping us webinar and you and live on YouTube also. Thank you. Thank you to all.
My network is not there.
Anything, Subhas? Anything?
Thank you very all the participants joined here, sir, for your things.
And one more thing, I request Dr. Preeti Joshi and my Rohini team to arrange one more lecture on behalf of our wellness center Nazarabad also.
Yes, sir.
And Tripura also. Tripura also. Okay.
Okay.
हो गया ना?
पूरा नहीं दोबारा कर दो ना।
क्यों? बोलो मतलब?
एग्जाम्पल
Thank you very much, all participants, contributing and making this webinar a success. I will request Mr. Vikas to end the session. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Siddhappa,
Sir, thank you, sir.
ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದ್ದೀರಾ?
ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ, sir.
Dr. Sindhu.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, sir.
और सब ठीक है?
बहुत अच्छा था. हाँ, sir. बहुत खुश हूँ.
आप भी एक लेक्चर दे दो.
बिल्कुल सर, बिल्कुल बिल्कुल. जब
योगा के बारे में
देंगे, उसमें कोई दिक्कत
नहीं.
जी, बिल्कुल तैयार करूंगा सर.
ठीक.
Okay, thank you.
यूट्यूब पे नॉलेज प्लेट थैंक यू Thank you very